it's quite a famous instrument, but I want you to look at it slightly differently in terms of handling conflicting conversations. And it was created by Kenneth Thomas and Ralph Kilmann, and they were professors in Pittsburgh University in America. And they helped people to deal with, they created it to help people deal with conflict. Now, there are two dimensions there. The assertiveness axis, that is the extent to which the individual attempts to satisfy their needs. And then the cooperativeness, which is along the bottom, that is the extent to which the individual attempts to satisfy the other person's concerns. Now, when you look at this, I want you to think about yourself and about individuals, okay? And because you can use it to assess how you would approach a situation or how the other person might approach it. Now, this isn't, you can use all five, okay, depending on the situation. And you might find that you've got a tendency when I take you through them, I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. You might be thinking, oh yeah, that's me. And oh, I never use that one. What I want you to think about is, okay, that's fine. That is me. But is there a situation where I maybe actually this other style might be more use to me? So let's just have a look at them in a little bit of detail. Let's start with the top left, competing, right? High assertion, low cooperativeness. The goal in this type of style is to win at all costs, right? It's very effective for a quick decision or an unpopular action that has got to take. So you've got a new process and people have got to do something new, right? Because they've kind of got to do it. And it's quite good when the issue is vital and you want maybe a quick resolution. You get a little bit of conflict. Now, the risk of using this style is, depending on what it is, you can leave the other person or yourself feeling a bit kind of helpless and alienated, making it harder for you to make changes in the future because people become more stubborn and more inflexible. So just think about that. If a competing start, there are times when it's really good to use it. For example, we have a new policy, but it may not be good for other situations. Now, bottom left, avoidance. This type of person uses this strategy this is where they avoid the conversation at all costs, right? Trying to arrange a meeting or training or something around whatever you're trying to deal with it. Now, it's effective when the issue is relatively trivial, okay? When you know you can't be satisfied or you can't win. But when the cost of the conflicts outweigh the benefit of the resolution, you want to be thinking about, yeah, is it worth it? Is it not? Also, sometimes you want to avoid a conversation because you want to get some more information and you want to reassess the situation. So there are pros and cons with it. The risk of it is that it doesn't go away. So if you ignore it and put your head in the sand and by avoiding it, it doesn't go away. And also, it can be interpreted as a bit of a sign of weakness because it's around your inability to make a decision, and then a situation can get worse. So just be thinking about that. Yes, it can be useful, but there are certain times that it isn't useful, which I'm doing for every one of these. Let's look at accommodating, bottom right. This is effective when you want to create a bit of goodwill and you want to do a bit of reasonableness, keep the peace, right? Maybe you want to build some social credit that you want to use later on, or maybe you realize that you were wrong in a situation and you want to start building some mutual respect. What accommodating does is it allows people to reassess the situation. Now, again, some of the risks with this style is it can lead to quite a lot of frustration because either you or the other person has sacrificed a point of view or an action. Okay, and there's a risk of reaching an agreement and ending a conflict situation prematurely, so that there's still some underlying issues to resolve. So yes, it can be useful, but be careful that you don't use it to just bury something. Now, collaboration, top right. This is obviously when individuals work together, it's quite good to find a solution that satisfies both parties. and when collaboration is good, when you want to really understand the other person's point of view and merge the different perspectives and insights so that you kind of integrate everything and you work together. And this is about gaining commitment to move forward through those kind of consensual decisions, right? So that's how you use collaboration. The risk with it is it's very time consuming. It can be. And it can sometimes deviate from a real clear position. So just think about that when you're using collaboration. The last one is compromise, and compromise is about finding the middle ground for what's right for you and for the individual. It's a temporary settle. It's good for settling a complex issue where all sides need to agree to move forward, and it's a good backup style to collaboration if that kind of competitive instinct fails. Now, the risk with compromise is it can lead to kind of a bit of a mediocre solution, and it doesn't necessarily remove the underlying cause of the conflict. So, what I want you to do is think about which style you tend to use the most, and then write down which style do you think you could use more of so that you're more effective with dealing with conflict situations and conversations. So, which one is your natural, and which one do you think you should use more of? Now, it could be and remember, every situation is different, and you will use a different style according to whatever situation it is you're in. So just be aware of that.